Hello friends, and we are back for the next session, and as I told you that we will be now discussing another important law of your production, that is law of return of sales. Like, see, just now, just before the previous class I was saying law of return of sale scale. Is it clear? Return to scale. Okay, just let me put it properly. Return to scale. See, just now, this previous class we have finished your law of variable proportion. Now, the law of variable proportion, as we have already discussed through an example, through a table, and with an exhaustive explanation, I have tried to tell you that according to the law of variable proportion, which is also known law of diminishing marginal returns, states that the output can be changed provided the other factors, okay, of production is changed. That means other factors of production can be changed, keeping some of the factor constant. You can improvise the output. Either you can make an increase in output or you can have a decrease in output. So there can be a change, and it depends upon how you are desiring to increase the output. So output could be increased by giving qualitative input to your raw materials or say technology, labor. Then you will find that there is a tremendous increase in your output. That is your final product. So this, but we have seen that the total product, in the diagram I have told you that the total product, average product and marginal product in the initial period are increasing. After some time they are constant, and finally towards the end of the stage we have seen that the marginal product is declining. Now, why it is declining? There may be various reasons. Like I have already stated you the reasons. The reasons could be that you have a wrong combination of the inputs, or there were different kinds of substitution we did not match, or when all the factors of production do not function in a homogeneous manner or in that particular way. So that is what we have already discussed. Now let us talk about the law of return to scale. Okay. I will just tell you what is the law of return to scale. Law of return to scale actually explains, so you can put out the definition explains. The definition says that it explains the relationship okay, relationship between inputs and outputs, Okay, what is the relationship between input and outputs in a long period? So just now I was telling you that the law of variable proportion, another important feature is law of variable proportion is applicable, or we can study the relation of input or output in a short period. But the law of return to scale is a study whereby we are trying to understand the relationship between input to output in a long period. And the change, and what we are trying to discuss here we are trying to understand the quantity of factors, the change in the quantity of factors, of production. Is it clear? So what does definition say? Law of return to scale, it explains the relationship between input and outputs in a long period, and here we are trying to understand the change in the different quantity of factors of production. So just go through the definition, I will be right back. Okay. So the definition which I have told you, law of return to scale explains the relationship between inputs and outputs in a long period. And here what exactly we are trying to understand is what is the change in the quantity of factors of production. So exactly we are trying to discuss the changes in the quantity of production. Okay. So did you get my point? Law of return to scale is a particular law which is discussing the relationship between input to output in a long period. Second important thing is here we are trying to understand what is the change in quantity of the products or quantity of factors of production, change in the quantity of factors of production. Now it will be more clear when we discuss the features of this law of return to scale. Now let us discuss the features, okay, or characteristics. Features, let us discuss features, important features, or you can say they are the important points. Okay, now what is the first important point is here that all the factor of production must be changed. Now this law could be applicable, and we are talking about the law of return to scale, where we are discussing the relationship between input to output can be discussed, okay, when we have these conditions in operation. Now what is the first condition, or what is the first thing which we are discussing here? This all the factors of production should be changed in the same, like all the factors, you can put down all the factors of production, all the factors of production should be changed in the same, okay, in the same multiple times, So what does it mean? All the factors of production, that is your factors like land, labor, capital, should change in the same, like we have changing the land, and say simultaneously the capital, labor should change in the same manner or same uniform way in order to see that the law is applicable. That is first point. Second is if all the factors of production can be doubled, okay, or tripled, okay, so if we are looking for a large scale production, then the factors, okay, what are the factors of production? The factors of production So what we are trying to discuss here is all the factors of production should change in the same. First thing is in order to see that the law of return of sale is acting in a perfect manner, the first important point is all the factors of production should be changed in the same multiple time. Now the factors of production like land, labor, capital should change in the same way or the same fashion, okay, then only we can get the output. Second important thing, it is saying that in order to have a large scale production, the factors of production should be either tripled or doubled. That is one thing. And it is done, and it is, if all the factors of production are half to change, 1/3, etc., the production can be carried in small. Now, see, first thing says that if all the factors of production are changed in the same multiple fashion or multiple time, then definitely the output will be different. Okay, that is what we are talking about, relationship between input and output. Second, if you are interested for a large scale production, then you have to double or triple your factors of production. But again, another important point is saying that if the production has to be decreased, if you want to decrease production, if the production has to be decreased, okay, then your inputs could be made half, or 1/3. I read your point. If the production has to be decreased, then your inputs could be made half or 1/3. So what does these statements actually reveal? All these statements actually reveal that production process can be increased provided all the factors of production are changing. In like if you're changing technology, you have to change the inputs like raw materials, you have to work more on the labor. If all the three changes take place in a simultaneous multiple way, then the production can be improved or output can be more. Second important thing is, if you want to have a double or triple output or production, then the factors of production should also be double. So if factors are double, output will be double. And the last thing it says that if you want to decrease your output or production, then you have to decrease your inputs. Either you make it half or you make it 1/3 so that your output or production can be decreased. So change in the, now what is written here? Written actually here the word is written is actually the change in your output. Change in output is said to be written. Now this word written, which is used in this particular theory, that is law of return to scale. Here return means change in the output, and we have discussed that the change in output is possible provided you have different changes even in the factors of production. That means factors of production will change, output will be changed. So exactly in this particular law, that is law of return to scale, we are trying to understand what is the change of output. If the factors of production change, like means factors of production are double, then what will happen? Or if the factors of production are half or reduced, then what is going to happen? Now let us understand with the help of a diagram. Just I will give you a diagram. Now just look into the diagram. Okay. Now here is the scale of production. Here is your scale of production. Is it clear? Scale of production. Other side you have like this is a proportionate change. Proportionate change or proportionate change. Okay. Now on x-axis, I have told you y-axis is your scale of production. Here is the proportionate change. Now what happens? The diagram actually is like this. Like this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. Are you getting my point? Now this part this part explains your increasing. Here it is constant and here it is decreasing. You see this portion. So here it is an increase, it is constant and decrease. Now what does this diagram actually talks about? The diagram talks about the change in output. Change in output, that is we called as returns. Change in output, that we call as returns. Okay. Now increasing returns. So if there is a proportionate change, now please write down, if there is a proportionate change, if there is a proportionate change in output, okay, if there is a proportionate change in output, then there will be a proportionate change, then there will be, just note it down, then there will be a proportionate change in input. Are you getting my point? Now see, this particular x-axis represents the scale of production. Now what is the scale of production is, what is the return? Return means what is the, actually we are trying to discuss what is the change in output. That is the returns. I have told you this is returns. Now in this diagram we see that it reflects a particular figure where there is a change, then it is constant decrease. Now what it states that if there is a proportionate change in output, then there should be a proportionate change in the input also. That means it is said that the increasing, that is, it means when you are increasing or when you are doubling the factors of production or when you are increasing the proportionate change in the outputs, then there is a proportionate change in the input. That means what? Your returns or change in output is dependent on the proportional changes in the inputs also. Like I told you, if you are bringing some significant changes in your input, say for example your raw materials, machines, labor or other things, you are bringing a proportional change, then likewise there is going to be a proportional change in the output. So this is what the law is stating, that if there is a proportional increase in the output, then there will be a proportional increase in the input too. And this is known as the increasing returns. It is known as increasing returns, and it means that double the input. That means input, it signifies or says that if input is doubled, then your output, automatically your output is also going to increase. So this is what the law of return of sale is talking about. Then your output will be doubled. Okay, so understood? So now this entire diagram clearly reflects that we are talking about a concept known as law of return of sale, where we are trying to discuss the changes in the output. That is what is termed as return. In economics we call it as a return. Now here the law states that a proportionate change in the output, if there is a proportional, like suppose there is some proportional change in the output, then there will be proportional change in the input also. And it signifies that if the input is double, like I have told you what are the inputs, like your raw materials, machinery, technology, labor, if there is a change, signifies that if there is input is doubled, then your output will also be doubled. Okay. And what is law of increasing returns? Law of increasing returns. The law of increasing returns is this, where it says that if there is a proportional increase in the input output, then there will be a proportional increase in the output, and it means that when you double the input, then the output is also going to. So this is known as law of increasing return. Law of increasing return states that, you can put it like this, states that with the increase in our input, increase in input, output will increase. Or if you are doubling the input, then output is also going to be double. Are you getting my point? So the law of return of scale actually tries to explain us or make us understand that what is the exact relationship between input to output. Now in this law we have understood that the input to output has a basic relationship. Now what is the basic relationship? There is some kind of change, and this change in output we are naming as return. Now what is the basic change? The basic change is that if you want to increase your level of output, or if you want to increase the production, you have to simultaneously increase your input. Now input is what? Your investment in capital, labor, machineries. Okay. So if this part is increased, automatically what happens is your output is also doubled. Are you getting my point? Output is also doubled. And there is a proportional change. Proportional change means a significant change is observed at both the sides. That is your input side as well as your output side. So if you want to double your output, definitely you have to double your input also. So when you are increasing your input level, like you are increasing the quality of machines, raw materials, and you are improving the capital investment, you are looking for better labor, and you are looking for better use of machineries, then automatically this side what happens is your output is also increased. So this is known as law of increasing return. So it is a very clear phenomenon, it's a very clear explanation that the change in output of the returns are very clearly visible provided there is a significant change in our input. So this we can put in a very simple words that if we want to have a better output, or if we want to see a significant change in the output, then we have to bring a significant change in the input. So there should be proportional change. All the factors of production should simultaneously or have multiple changes in the same uniform manner. And most important thing that is saying that in the law, that is, if you want to have double or triple results in your output or production, then this side, that is the input, has to be also increased likewise. Or else if you want to have less output, then input should be halved, okay, or it should be 1/3, then accordingly the output will be likewise. So this is a very simple law which is being explained under the law of return of scale, okay. Now we will discuss the last part, that is why it happens. A question comes to our mind, why it is so. Now you see this diagram, there is an increase. Why there is an increase? Because there is increase in input also. At a particular point of time it is constant, then finally there is a decrease. Are you getting my point? So what happens is, you see this production process, in the initial stage it is increases, for some time it is constant because flow of input is also constant. Then after that there is a decline. That means the change in output of the return is dependent on the input also. Okay. Then we will discuss what are the reasons here. So next we will discuss what are the causes, like what are the causes of increasing returns. Causes of increasing returns. So just now we have discussed that increasing returns, why it happens. So the increasing return happens because I have told you, when you want to increase your level of output, that is your production, then you have to simultaneously increase your level of input also. Now what could be the level of input? The level of input could be your use of materials, use of machineries, then what kind of technology you are using, what is the efficiency of labor. So if there is a proportionate increase in the input level, then automatically your output is going to increase. So there is a very proportional relationship between input to output. That is what is explained in the law of return of scale. And the term return explains you the change in the output. So we are exactly discussing here what is the change in output over a period of time. Say for example 6 months or 1 year. We are trying to discuss that what is the rate of change when your inputs change, or what is the rate of change when inputs are changed. So inputs and outputs do have a proportional relationship. That is what we have understood. Now I will tell you or explain you what are the causes of the increasing returns. The first causes is management problems. Just I will put it down and explain. Management problems. Okay. Second is your limit to human factor. Limit to, just note it down, I will explain. Limit to human factor. Okay. And next is your lack of coordination, or you can say cooperation. Lack of coordination or cooperation or cooperation. And the last one is rise in the price of inputs. There is a significant rise in price of inputs. See, just now I have told you about this figure. Production increases to some extent, it is constant and decreases. Why this phenomenon is, or why this takes place? We are discussing the reasons for this. Okay. Why there is what are the causes of increasing returns? Okay. Return is what? Change in output. You keep this in mind. Return is nothing but the change in output. So why the change in output is suddenly decreases, or why there is a change of output declines after a certain period? Like you see the last stage, there is a declining phase. So why there is a decline? For that we have 4 important reasons to discuss. First reason is the management problems. Second is limit to human factor. Third is lack of coordination. And fourth is rise in the price. Now coming to the first factor. First factor is management problem. See, when we are talking about an organization, I told you that the organization or the process of production is being managed, controlled, invested either by an entrepreneur or by a person or group of persons. Now the administration, decision making is done by a group of people which is known or by a group of officials known as management. They are also the management people. Now management people always do not have the same kind of understanding or same kind of ideas which will match. So they have some problems within themselves. Okay. Maybe sometimes they are unable to take a proper decision, or sometimes they may not visualize the things in a proper way, or sometimes it happens that they may take a wrong decision also for their organization. So due to some of the because every time it is not that the management will be perfect and things are going to operate in a perfect manner. Although an entrepreneur or the management expects that everything should be perfect, but it is not exactly so. So sometimes there may be problems in the management due to this, due to which we find this kind of relationship between input to output. Second is limit to human factor. See, we are talking about the most important assets of an organization, that are the human beings. They are the important assets. So human beings, although they are working day and night for the well-being of the organization, to get the best production or to get the best output, but again there are some limitations to human factor, like health issues are there, then they have like psychological issues are there, sometimes they may be very stressful also, or sometimes they may not be 100% fit to do. So there are so many limits to human, like suppose today I am not feeling good, or my mental stability is not good, I may not give the best, okay, or my health conditions is not sound, I may not give the best. So there are n number of reasons that are limit to human factor, either physical reason, psychological reasons, or some other reasons may be there, or a person may be under a stressful condition due to which he cannot give the 100%. Then is lack of coordination and cooperation. Sometimes what happens that in a we're talking of a very big organization where the size of work employees is huge, like we are talking about organization with 1,000, 2,000 or even 5,000 people are working. More the number of people, more will be the disturbance or misunderstanding. So sometimes due to lack of coordination, understanding, lack of cooperation, things may not work out as desired by management. So misunderstandings, they must have heard that many in the industry there is a hartal, there is a strike, and there are some bunds are there, workers are not going to work, there is some kind of disturbance. So these issues which lead to lack of cooperation and coordination do have an impact on the output. Are you getting my point? So for every organization, a proper work environment is highly required. A peaceful environment is required, coordination is required, cooperation is required. But if this coordination and cooperation lacks, or people are not coordinating with each other, like management does not, sometimes it happens management does not have good relation with workers, workers have some lack of understanding with management. So these issues lead to such kind of phenomena. And the last is rise in the price of inputs. So it's a very natural cause, like the price of inputs like your raw materials, labor, machinery. So sometimes it happens that all of a sudden there is a huge rise in prices, like raw materials. What raw materials you were hiring at say rupees 1 lakh, now it has increased to 2 lakhs, or the supply of labor is very less, so the demand is more, supply is less, means the price of labor has also increased. Or talking about technology or technique, also there is a huge increase in price. So these reasons may be responsible that why there is a decline, or why there happens that all of a sudden the production process slows down, or you are not getting the output as per expected. So these are the basic reasons which we have discussed, that is causes of increasing returns. That what are the causes? They are management problems, limit to human factor, lack of coordination and cooperation, and rise in the price of inputs. So with this I finish your law of return to scale. So I'll just brush you up what we discussed. The law of return to scale explains the relationship between input to output, or it exactly talks what is the change. Return means we are talking about what is the change in output, and this law clearly explains that a change in output is possible if there are proportional changes in the input. So if you want to double the output, you have to double the input. If you want to decrease the output, then you have to make your input 1/3 or half. That is first. And another important thing we have seen that in the diagram, that in the law of return to sale says that if there is a proportional increase in the output, then suppose there is an increase in output is more than the proportional increase in input is set to. Now, law of increasing return states that there it is a state where the proportional increase in output is more than the proportional increase in input. That means what? In the diagram which we have discussed, okay, the proportional change in output is more than proportional change in input. Okay, this is your increasing returns, which we have explained in this diagram. And why this happens, why there is a proportional change in output is more than proportional change in input, because of these reasons, that is management problems, limit to human factor, lack of coordination, and rise in the price of inputs. I hope this simple law or simple thing is clear to you. Next class I will be back with I'll continue with the same topic, little bit explanation is there, and after that we will switch over to your next unit. I hope that you could understand the two laws which we have, the law of invariable proportion and the law of return to scale. So please go through it, just think about it, how it operates or how it behaves, manages. And next class I am going to be back with some new terms and a new topic for you. I hope you have a nice day. Once again, enjoy your day, be good and be energetic. Thank you.